The Geysers is the largest geothermal field in the world, located in California, approximately 72 miles north of San Francisco in the Mayacamas Mountains. The field contains 22 geothermal power plants, drawing steam from more than 350 wells on the site. You may be wondering how this geothermal field came to be. Well, it all started about 1 million years ago, when a magma plume intruded close to the Earth's surface. The 1400-degree intrusion cooled over the overlying rocks, making them brittle and causing fracturing. Over the next 500,000 years, at extremely high temperatures, water seeped down into the permeable rock bed and created a hot water geothermal reservoir throughout the region. As water reached deep enough, the water would be superheated and erupt in steam vents throughout the geothermal field. Native Americans were the first inhabitants of the region. They commonly visited the thermal areas for ceremonies and their healing powers. In the 1840s, Geysers became a tourist destination. As seen above, the Geysers Hotel was a common destination for visitors. Only in the past 50 years has the Geysers emerged as the world's leader in generating sustainable geothermal power using superheated steam from below the Earth's surface. The Geysers produces exclusively dry steam power generation by the means of a dry steam power plant. This type of power generation uses superheated water in the form of steam that is piped down into the electric turbine that powers a generator. The following water vapor is then condensed and distributed back into the system in the form of liquid water. Unlike coal and other non-renewable power plants, the dry steam power plant produces no carbon emissions, but rather emissions of some water vapor lost from the system.
13 of the 22 geothermal plants at the Geysers are run by Calpine Corporation, the largest geothermal power producer in the United States. These 13 plants help generate 725 megawatts of electricity, which is enough to power 725,000 homes, or a city like San Francisco. Overall, the Geysers satisfy 60% of the average electricity demand in North Coast region from the Golden Gate Bridge to the Oregon border. In fact, the Geysers help supply the state of California with 1/5 of the total green power produced in the state. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, more steam was being produced by the reservoir than was being replaced by the injection of power plant steam condensate. By 1989, increased development had caused severe steam pressure decreases in the reservoir, which resulted in lower steam production rates. To sustain the pressure and increase productivity, in 1990, a collaboration between operators Lake County and the California Energy Commission identified Lake County wastewater as the best solution. So, in 1995, the Southeast Geysers Effluent Pipeline, SCGEP, was started and since 1997 has been delivering around 9 million gallons of secondary treated wastewater for injection into the Geysers reservoir. Due to the success of the SCGEP, in 2003 the city of Santa Rosa partnered with Calpine to build a 42-mile pipeline known as the Santa Rosa Geysers Recharge Project, which has successfully been delivering around 11 million gallons per day of tertiary treated wastewater into the reservoir. Another challenge with the geysers is that 99% of seismic events are at magnitude 3.0 or lower, or microseismic events. These types of events aren't typically felt by people unless very close to the source. Therefore, a network of very sensitive and closely spaced seismometers is installed to detect such microseismic events. The magnitude, depth, and location of these events are studied by scientists and engineers to study the steam reservoir and its response to steam production and injection. By looking at this data, a direct relationship between water injection and microseismicity was established. However, the relationship between injection and greater seismic events has yet to be determined. In order to reduce these microseismic events, Calpine is looking into solutions to limit the frequency and impact of these events. For example, one solution that was proposed was a more uniform distribution of water injection, or the addition of low-rate injectors. With further advancements in geothermal energy, geysers could serve as a blueprint for future geothermal power plants. This technology will also help reduce our fossil fuel consumption and thus reduce the amount of emissions and overall impact of climate change.